As T. Harv Eker said, don't wait to invest in real estate. Buy real estate and wait. So before I share with you my system, you are probably thinking, who is Elsie Igbinadola? So I'd like to tell you a bit about myself. Raise your hand if you've ever had to make a decision. And raise your hand again if not only have you had to make a decision, but at that time, you thought the decision would have a major impact on your life. And say aye. Aye. If you had been with me back in the late 1970s, you would have witnessed a time that had it been you, it would have been the biggest decision of your life. You find me, thanks Andy, you find me sitting in the living room of a typical 1970s house. You know, one where the carpet and the settee all merge into the same brown. And the only thing that separates it is that there's a plastic cover on the settee. Yeah? And we all know that that's there to ensure the settee wears well. And in the corner of the room, there's a brown box. And it's got these black circular discs on it. You know, records. You must remember, well, it is the 70s. And I'm in the living room with my brother Kingsley, who at 7 is a year older than me. And Kingsley's in his little orange shorts and scuffed knees, and I'm in little pigtails. No more! No more! I've had enough! What's that? Why is Mum shouting? Let's go and see. As we approached the hallway, the shouting got louder. You! You! Because of you, we've lost everything! Because of you and your gambling! We've lost the house! That's it, I've had enough! Kids, get your things! Are you coming with me or staying with him? I looked at my brother. What do we do? Dad, Mum, Kingsley, we've got a decision to make. What do we do? Children, I'm telling you now, you've got to decide. It's either your father or it's me. I looked up at my dad standing there. Daddy, say something, say something. My mum was now at the door with her suitcases. Daddy's not speaking. I'm going to go with Mum. And that was the day that I made the biggest decision as a 6-year-old, to leave my father and go with my mum. Now, of course, I'd like you to think that was the only decision I've ever had to make in my life. But I think you know I'd be fibbing. You know, I did what my mother wanted me to do. I went to school. I worked hard. I buckled down. And I got a good education. Actually, no, I got a great education. And you find me working in the city because I decided that I wanted a good career. And if you had been with me in June 2010, you would have found me outside the boardroom of the bank that I was working for. As I peered through the boardroom glass, I could see the huge table in front of me. And there, up on the screen, in true apprentice style, was my boss in Hong Kong via satellite. I think you all know what's coming next. Elsie, how are you going to play this? You can either go in, kicking and screaming, put up a fight, or just go in, just be polite. Don't argue, but make sure you don't cry. I didn't argue, and I most certainly didn't cry. But you see, I had another decision to make on the day that I got laid off. And that was, do I look for another job? Or do I start to take control of my life? Now, I don't know about you, but have you ever had one of those moments where you think, that's why that happened? Because you find me on the tube, Evening Standard in hand. So depressing. Oh, hang on. This looks interesting. What's this? How to make money from property? Oh my God, that's it. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen something and you know that that thing would just be good for somebody else and you want to share it with them, don't you? Yes or no, guys? Yes. Well, I wanted to share this with my older sister, Abby. And so you find me outside the tube. Abby, it's Elsie. Hey, listen, I booked us on the course. We're going to learn how to be property magnates. What do you mean you're not interested? I've booked it. You're coming with me. Put these dates in your diary. Now, I might have been the youngest, but I've always been the bossiest. But then life took a twist. And my mother became seriously ill. And I knew the reason why I'd been laid off. Because you see, I had another decision to make. And that was, do I continue working and have someone come in and care for Mum? Or do I stop working and care for her myself? And after a lot of soul searching, I decided to care for Mum myself. And I kind of forgot about the property thing for a while.
Okay, stop. Thank you. Give her a hand, please.